All right. Are you guys ready for my guest? This is a recurring guest in this podcast, if you know. He's been in 4 episodes. He's the most recurring person. Adam Mayfield, a.k.a. my husband, a.k.a. Actor, survival instructor, all-around human. Hi, human.
Hi, baby. Hi, everyone. Hey, thank you for being here. Hey, buddy. I know those guys. The couch dudes.
The couch.
They've become very dear friends of mine, these 2 guys right here.
Hi, guys. Thank you for coming.
Yep,
Thank you for bringing your beautiful masculine energy.
Yep. That they did. I can't tell you how proud I am of my wife, and more importantly, how much I admire her.
Thank you, baby.
She is just this beacon of light in my life every single day. I get to wake up to that smile, you know, and then just to walk in here earlier and to see all of you milling about and to think like she did this. I mean, with the help of
so many
people,
yeah,
so much help.
Thank you,
we
babe.
Wouldn't be here otherwise without their help.
Yeah.
But you're just a force in nature, baby.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm so proud to be your husband. Oh, wow. This is going to be so much easier than I thought.
I did pay him to say that, but
No.
Good rehearsing. Is this weird that we're doing this?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
This is so much weirder than rehearsal. It's so much weirder than
our house, because we record this in our home.
Room.
Yeah, in our living room.
Man.
So
yeah,
it's well, let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. All we can do. Shit.
Okay. So we've been married for 10 years, but then we've been together for like around 11-ish.
Longer.
Yeah.
2012.
2012 we met.
It was the year I met you. That was the first birthday I remember celebrating with you. And it's an easy one because the dates are 10, 11, 12.
That's right.
So that's like my litmus. No, what is it?
No, your thing.
My benchmark for knowing
benchmark.
How long we've been together. Yeah.
So we're going to get a little real, and we're going to start talking about real shit.
Yep.
And then you guys can ask us questions.
Oh,
real questions.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Do we have a technical problem? Do we need to?
His pretty face is not coming out.
His pretty face. We can't block his pretty face. That's how I make money.
Do I?
I make the bucks.
I love
selling
that
his
guy.
face. So when I met you,
Yeah.
you were 11 years sober.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And I remember one of the things that my dad told me.
Oh, good.
Now, my dad loves you.
Oh, I love him too. He scared the shit out of me when I first met him.
And he said, you know, you were very in love with this man. He said, you guys are perfect for each other, but do you know what you're getting yourself into?
Oh, God.
And I was like, right. Yes, Dad. He's been sober for 11 years. He's like cured. Because that's what I thought addiction was. That's how literally really non-educated I was on addiction, which is also another thing that we talk a lot, because why are we not more educated in addiction and mental health?
You and me both.
I mean, in reality, I feel like it should be like a course that we take in like elementary school. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be more spoken about. And I had no idea about anything. And I truly was like, oh, well, 11 years. He's like a lifetime away. Like, it's fine.
I remember one of the first things you said to me when I mentioned that. You said, oh, that's fine. I love AA. What?
I did say that, but that's because I had just made a movie.
Yeah.
I had just made Gone.
Great film, by the way.
I had just made Gone, and it was about addiction. And so I went to a lot of AA meetings.
Yep.
just to be in that space. And I didn't know it was waiting for me later. You know what I mean? I made a movie, and then the movie was like, "Oh, you want to learn more about this shit? Ta-ta.
Here's your crash course. Yeah.
Here's the man that will teach you all about it."
Oh my God.
And so then we got married.
Yep.
But also, let's point out that neither of us, especially you, when I met you, you were like, "I'm never gonna get married, and I don't want to have children."
Yep.
And so I was like, "Okay, this is a guy that I'm just gonna fuck."
And I had my shit together.
And you do.
At the time, yeah. Like I looked great on paper at the time.
You did. You were making money as an actor.
Yep.
You were like driving your Jeep. And I was like, well, this is a guy that I just have sex with. And this is awesome and phenomenal. And then I fell in love with you.
Ditto.
Because you took me, okay, we were about to like break it off. We were like, we're not going to sleep with each other anymore. He's like, let's do one last trip together.
What?
Was this 2 months in?
A year. Yeah, a year back and forth of like, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then he's like, one last trip. And then he takes me to this epic trip to Big Sur. And then he takes me to the like Esalen into the baths at like 1 a.m. with the moon. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is a goodbye like trip? Now I'm in love with you. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah. More on that later. Yeah.
But anyway, and then you were like, I want to marry you. So first off, let's talk on why did you change your mind?
Okay, so why did I change my mind? Well, we both agree that's where we fell in love. Big Sur,
Yeah.
right? On the beach that night, all that. I can't remember. No, I hadn't met your family yet.
No.
So part of it was I had never been with anybody that I could visualize spending the rest of my life with. It always scared the shit out of me.
And you were engaged before.
Yeah, oh yeah. And poor woman. And
Hashtag poor woman.
yeah. And I it always seemed like a good idea at the time and so forth. But with you, I could just like I can look at this woman the rest of my life, and I'd never ever felt that before. And then I met your family, and holy shit! So I grew up in a like a very quiet home, and there was a lot of aggression. There was a lot of silence. There was a lot of backstabbing, none of which she knew. Otherwise, she may have never said yes.
No, I love your mom.
No, my mom is fantastic. She really is, and it took like 20 years of therapy for me to say that. But so that was my upbringing, and then I meet her family. I go down to Mexico. And there's like 20 fucking people sitting around a table, right? And they're all smiling and laughing and talking. And I'm just like waiting for the next shoe to drop. I'm like, this is all an act, right? They're all putting on a face here. There's no way people like each other this much, especially in a family. And it slowly dawned on me that no, all these people really love each other. And that was the first time I'd ever seen that. Like, these people like each other, and they want to spend time together. And it just blew my mind. And I was like, I want some of that. I want that in my life. Yeah. Yeah.
And you have it.
No shit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You do.
So
you always said that it was like my family was. I'm like, okay, well, good job, family.
Yeah. And like in case my mother and my brother listen to this, like this is like a stark contrast. Okay, I actually, I don't really have any.
Your mom was never quiet. I don't know. Your mom is never quiet.
No. Well, you never met my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was the quiet, angry type. And he sort of set the tone a lot.
Yeah.
My dad, he had his own issues, right? He had his own sadness that he didn't know how to express. Looking back on it now, he just carried so much sadness around, and he didn't know how to express it, and so it came out oftentimes in anger and quiet and shit like that. So, but I love my mother. I love my brother.
Yeah. So then we get married. We had 3 weddings. So the first, for if somebody didn't want to get married, okay, 3 weddings. The first wedding, which was in Big Sur, and was kind of like very us.
Yep.
In that fire, you were there, right? It was
Yeah,
fire,
man.
fire wedding in Big Sur.
Yeah.
And then about 6 months after, you relapsed.
Oh, that's right. It was between weddings.
Yeah. Oh, wow, he's just realizing this. Great.
Yeah, no.
And so, but a lot of things happened in between. And so what happened in between was I also lost myself. We lost each other.
Yep.
We lost the plot.
Yep.
Like people say, we like so lost the plot on all the things.
Yep.
And it happens a lot when people are planning weddings, I'm finding out, that you kind of lost the plot on what the hell it is that you're doing this for.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I feel like I did on my side is that, well, it coincides a lot with, like, the entertainment industry is like this, right? Ups and downs. And it came to a down where you started getting really depressed.
Yep.
And then I didn't know, again, very ignorant on depression and addiction. And so the only thing that I could say is like, go outside, look at the sun, and take a walk. All of your problems will be solved. I was a bumper sticker, like walking around bumper sticker. And then he will be like, oh God, Virginia. And I'm like, well, you're not listening to what I am telling you what to do. And if you're not listening to what you're to do, then you don't care what I have to say. And so I feel like emotionally I left the relationship, but I still was there, but I was not there. Because, and the reason why I can say this very clearly is because it took me 7 months to realize that he had relapsed. And he was doing it in front of me. Like, we had bottles, because he moved into my house. I had like a whole little bar. And I was seeing the bottles shrink. Meaning, it was in front of me. And I didn't want it to see it. I was like, no. The next wedding is happening. I didn't do this on purpose. It was like literally like self-conscious blocking of like what the reality was in front of me. But looking back, it was like, oh, wow. And when I realized and the fucking floor shifted and like literally broke my world, one of the biggest things for me was not that betrayal and was not that realization. It was, oh, wow, how can I lie to myself so beautifully? And how good I am at lying to myself. And then realizing, what else am I lying to myself about? And like, what is reality even? And it took me so long. It took me less long to forgive you than to forgive myself, than to trust myself. The gaining back trust to myself was a long-ass journey. I mean, gaining back trust with you was also a long-ass journey. And it was not the only time that you relapsed. I think you relapsed 3 more times after that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you have to say about
I got a lot. First of all, I could teach courses on how to lie to oneself, and others. But it's what always has interested me or fascinated me is that never in that time had I ever questioned my decision to marry her. And I say that I say I'm fascinated by that because that wasn't always the case, like especially because I had been engaged before. But there was never a doubt in my mind that this was the person I wanted to share my life with.
It didn't
Interestingly,
feel like
no, of course not. Interestingly enough, though, it's almost as if this paradigm that I had been living my whole life, this identity that I had, went into just crisis mode. I don't know how quite to explain it other than
you had an identity crisis.
and everything shifted and the floor came out from under me, and I didn't know what was happening and I didn't know why. Looking back, it's very, very clear to me because of the work that I've done, that we've both done together, and what it took for me to have a sort of shift in my mindset and my body as well to just be a different person. And so at the time, there was this part of me that just like freaked out and lost its shit. And being an addict, that's how I always dealt with it, because I didn't know how else to deal with it, basically. And it's on me. Don't get me wrong. But people talk about people being in survival mode. And I've been in survival mode my whole life. I just didn't know it. When people talk about, oh, well, you were in survival mode, and then they describe the traits of survival mode, I'm like, I live that every day. And that's all I knew. I didn't know there was any other way, if that makes sense. And so there we were, living together, and on the surface, even on my own surface, everything was going great. Everything felt fine. And yet I couldn't make heads or tails of why I was behaving the way I was behaving. If that yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was very confusing on this side too, because it's very confusing somebody tell you, I love you, and then seeing it, and then in the same coin, they hurt you.
Yep.
And so it was very, for me, well, I also understood when people say addiction is a family disease. I understood what that meant, because I went to the depths with him, to the hole of depression and all the things. I mean, we had 3 years, which was 3 years of just so much pain.
Yep.
Of so much, like, I just didn't know. I became controlling, which is not who I really am. I became codependent to an extreme, which I didn't know I could be. I became another person. And part of what made me really angry of the disease is like, this is not who the fuck I am. Like, why are you making me be somebody that I am not? Because this is not me. I'm not controlling. I'm not this. Like, I'm angry. I was really angry at that. And there was one moment where I thought that I was going to lose you. Not metaphorically, literally. I thought you were going to die.
Yeah.
It was in Canada.
Yeah.
You had booked a show, and you told me, can you please come? And in that moment, I was angry. And I was like, no, I'm not your fucking babysitter. And you were like, please come. And I said, no. And then you went. And then I found out that you relapsed.
Yeah.
And then I got really angry, because here's the thing. I made his addiction really personal. I thought his addiction had something to do with me. I was like, what are you doing this to me? Why did I do to make you do that? I just thought it was me. It never occurred to me that it was not, by the way. Like, that's how addiction, and like, that's how it works, you know? It's like, you make it so like, I can fix him, and if I can't, then that says something about me. And if I can do and I can help, then that says something about me. It never occurred to me that it was about something else than me. And so I wrote him a really angry email. And then you responded to me with a letter, an email. And I read that and I was like, oh my God, I think he's gonna die. He's gonna die by suicide. And I truly believe that. And I called his sponsor. His sponsors have been such good help to me because they know him so well and they know the disease. So I called his sponsor and I was like, I guess I'm going to Canada. I'm going to go to Canada and find him and like save him. And he said something that really has stuck to me for many, many years. He said, you keep catching him midway, and that's why he's not sober. He needs to fall and hit rock bottom in order for him to understand that he can get back up again. But you keep catching him midway, which is why he's still not sober. And I was like, but what if he kills himself, dies? He's like, well, then that's him, not you. And so you do not go to Canada. I had his Apple ID, so I was able to see where he was at on his phone. And he said if he doesn't move in 24 hours, he'd call the cops. And I was sleeping at Marta's. I went to your house. And oh my God, yeah, this is so emotional. And you had a new baby. You were like, sleep here. And it was like the worst, like 3 worst days of my life, because I kept just being like, please don't let him die of this disease, because I know he really wants to be better. Like, I know that. And it's really hard to see somebody fight so fucking hard and losing. And it's really heartbreaking for the other people. I know I was heartbroken about you, but it's also being on this side, it was like heartbreaking, And I remember Dan is his sponsor, saying to me, just tell him that you love him. Don't promise him anything that you can't control, aka like don't say we're gonna be together forever, because you don't know. You don't know if you can handle this forever. So don't promise him that, but tell him that you love him and he should come back home. And I will just text him. I'm like, I love you, just come back. I love you, just come back. And then you did call me. And then in that moment, I understood. There was something that happened that I understood, oh, this isn't about me at all. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't about me at all. This is about him. And I'm just so glad that you're still alive.
Me too. Thanks, baby. Me too, baby. So, hearing you talk about that, you mentioned bottom. I think my lowest bottom, and I've had a lot of bottoms, but my lowest bottom was, so we made the decision to stay together and work it out, right? She had every reason to leave. She really did, right? We went through couples counseling, and man, dude, talk about, we got a great couples counselor. Like, we're like war buddies now after that.
Shout out to Romaine, who's also Martin Valeria's therapist.
Yeah, she's incredible. So there we are. We made the decision to stay together. And, my worst bottom was seeing her processing the betrayal every day. And, you feel like a monster just to watch somebody go through that kind of pain and to know I caused that. That fucked me up.
That's one of the things that you have said to me. And a lot of people is like, oh, you stayed with him. And I said, no, we decided to stay together because I did understand that you had to watch me and my process.
Yeah.
And sometimes that process was like me laying on the floor crying.
Oh my God.
And being like, blaming you for things. And you being able to hold space and be like, you're right. You're right.
And I'd never stuck it out with anybody through that. Of course, I don't think I'd ever hurt anyone quite that way either, because I'd never been around long enough to do so. Hi. That's okay. Do I need to do this thing? No? Okay.
I don't know. What is
Oh, yeah. I know, man. I'm a pain in the ass.
You are,
really. Because I shift and I bob and I weave.
So it is, when people go, there's so much story, obviously, and so much history, and then we decided to, do this together. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the beginning, just the decision. And for me, honestly, I only have one rule in my book of us. And it's not, don't relapse. That to me, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. Mm-hmm. As long as he's honest about it. Because part of the addiction is that loop of they drink and then they feel bad about it. And then the shame is the fucking disease on its own. Yep. The shame then makes them hide it even more. And then that takes them to drink again. And shame is a true disease when it comes to addiction. And when it comes to a lot of things, when it comes to sexuality too, that's something that it's the same thing, you know? And I don't care how many times he relapses as long as he's honest. But my only thing is that he needs to work on himself in whatever capacity that means. It doesn't have to be the same as me. We don't have to, and actually we do different types of therapy. We do different types of meditation.
Yep.
We do different types of everything. But as long as I see him not giving up, I will be here. Like, I will be here. And that's my only thing. And I've seen you, when people are like, people don't change. I'm like, I have seen a person evolve and change kind of like cellularly. Is that a word? I don't even know if that's a word. Cellularly. To literally in front of me. And that is the biggest gift that this relationship has given me.
And that's very encouraging because I don't see it, right? I don't
At all? You have.
I mean, I do a little. Yes, I do. But to know from your perspective,
Yeah.
that
Oh no, extremely different.
Yeah.
Extremely different. And you know, I also love this person. You know, a lot of people is like, I didn't marry this person 10 years ago. I'm like, nobody fucking did.
Right.
We all evolve and we all change.
Yeah.
And the thing is that because it might not be at the same pace. We're not evolving at the same pace. Mm-hmm. Because we're humans. So sometimes he does deeper work and he goes faster and upper, and then sometimes it's me. And then, you know, it's not a competition. It's just like, in a way, like staying in each other's lane. You know, I do my work and I worry about me. And you do your work and you worry about you. And then we come together to co-create a relationship together. Mm-hmm. And what that entails means connection, and it requires for us to shift and move and things around because our passions change, our careers change, what we want to do in life change. And so we're constantly like switching and moving and evolving. And that is something that is beautiful and that I love. But then at the same time, when I see the person that you were, I was like, oh boy, did I not I married her. I'm married now to a completely different human being. But a human being that I respect more today because I'm seeing like in front of me the work that is taking you to be your full self.
Yeah.
To fight with addiction and to fight anxiety and depression and to fight your conditioning and still show up in the world and teach kids and act and create and then be a really present, beautiful partner. And so now, when I met you, I don't think I respected you the way I respect you now.
No, I wouldn't think you would. I didn't really care if you respected me or not
That's
back
right.
then.
True.
I just wanted you to like me.
That's right.
I didn't know the difference.
You didn't know the difference between liking and respecting.
No.
That's powerful. Yeah. That's fucking powerful. All right, we're going to open it up to you guys if you have any questions. Yeah.
Is the resentments that get built with time. And when you talk about sexuality and what you guys have been through, and even, by the way, the shame, because I actually have had like friendships where the shame drops off the friendship because the person is so ashamed of their own behavior that they actually cannot face the dynamic anymore. I guess my question is like, how do you get back to your sexuality and repair the resentment from both of your perspectives? Because I'm sure there's a lot there, and to be able to like want to be touched and like want to like come to that place after having gone through so much.
So, if I may.
Yeah, great question.
That's a fantastic question. What makes a good relationship is not the avoidance. Huh?
Sorry, in your opinion?
Yes, in my opinion. Yeah. In my opinion, what makes a strong relationship is not the avoidance of conflict, but how you repair that conflict. Because you're going to have conflict, right? And what I saw in my own childhood, there was no repairing. There was either grudges held or everybody just got quiet until the next day. And so communication is so important. And just knowing, once I figured that out, like it's not about avoiding conflict, but it's about repairing the conflict skillfully, changed everything for me. And having a damn good couples counselor. I really, man, had like Romaine saved our ass.
She did.
But
because we came to a point where we couldn't communicate, because sometimes it feels like, when you go into stages and you feel like you're speaking different languages, you're like, I'm saying this, and he's like, but I'm saying that, and like, I'm saying the same fucking thing to you are, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. It's like that stuff, and it's like so hard. It's somebody who can be like, you're saying the same things.
Right.
You are in agreement, actually. Why are you fighting about this?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, are we? Yes, but he's saying in a different things in a different way that you cannot hear because you're refusing to hear and listen to him, which is like happens a lot. But for me, in the sexual aspect of it, it was a hard journey because after a betrayal like that, I didn't want him close to me. And I'm going to share that moment. I hope that you're okay with it. And if not, then you can tell me later about it.
I don't even know what
I'm Okay, so this was one of the hardest moments, and I think in our sexual relationship, because I was closed off. And part of the closing off of my vulva and all the stuff, literally, it was because I didn't trust him. Mm-hmm. So trust was broken. So my body couldn't open up because it was shut down. And so, but then, like a lot of women do, I was like, I feel bad for him. So, okay, fine, sure, let's have sex. But I really didn't want to. And then I said yes. And I said yes many times. And then I would dissociate during sex. And then I would harness even more resentment because I was like, how is he not seeing that I don't want to be here? Obviously, I was doing a goddamn well performance because I was like, oh my God, yes. But then I was like, me, you can see in my eyes, and you know that I'm not having a good time even though I'm putting a performance. And so then I started like resenting him and being like, how can you not see that? And there was one moment that I have it really deep in my soul where my body couldn't do it anymore. And I pushed him off of me and I said, it feels like you're raping me.
Oh, fuck.
And then he went, what the fuck? And I was like, that's how it fucking feels like. And he's like, what? I just, and so for a long time, he didn't even want to approach me either. Because he was like, if that is your fucking experience of this, then I don't want to fucking come to you either. And so for a long time, it was like both of us like dancing around the thing and then being like, and then you'd be like, do you like this?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That shit
please
gets
don't
old.
fucking do that. Yeah,
Right.
consent is awesome, but like when it's done that, it's like, I don't like it. Can I
Yeah.
touch your breast? I'm like, don't ask me to touch my breast. And so that's why I started going into the tantric work, because I was like, this is just all. And that's how, honestly, when I said that, that's how my body felt. Like, because it was a breaking of a trust. And so when you let somebody inside of you, when your nervous system is like, no, I don't trust you, your body will protect you. And so hives, I have clients that like get hives. This client is like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like after sex and just broke into 1,000 hives. And I'm just like, let's dive deep into like what's going on. Because your body will tell you, your body will talk to you. So the answer to that, it was very slow process where it was not just penetration, where sex started just being like, maybe let's just look into each other's eyes. Maybe just make out for a second. Maybe let me just feel safe in this body. And that was my work, like feeling back safe into my body is not just him, but also feeling safe with him. And sometimes it was like, can you just hold me naked while I cry? And like sometimes he was inside of me and I'll be like, can you just stay there yeah, it's weird, right? Some people is like, what? He was inside of me, and I'm like, can you just stay there where I'll cry? Well, you're just inside of me. And I'm like bawling my eyes out. And props to you that you were able to hold that space that many men can't, because you also understand that a lot of that was your doing.
Right.
But also you were able, as much as you carry the hurting sword,
Yeah.
you also carry
The perpetration.
the healing one.
Right.
And you also were able to stand in that space and help me heal.
Yeah.
Where you were like, I will hold you. And even if it's weird and awkward, like who wants to be bawling with like fucking like, mocos down your fucking chest while another person is penetrating you? It's not sexy, But also, what did you do?
Nothing.
But also, sex is healing, and sexual energy has a healing power to it. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we forget that the healing powers of sexuality, that is not just like pleasure and fun, but
Right.
a penis can be very healing to a vagina if you let it, and if that penis is a conscious penis. Good job to your penis. Thank you for that question, guys. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Do you have anything else to say?
I so relate to Adam so much. I so relate to that family dynamic that maybe it's just really white, and that's our culture. Because whenever I talk with Virginia about it, it's just so different. And I just listening to the two of you is so inspiring. You say you admire her. I admire her, but I also admire you. Truly, it's so beautiful to hear you two talk. And it is important for more than the people in this room or females or femme presenter, whoever, whatever gender, to hear and see and, this intimacy that isn't just penetration. As a single person in my 40s, I'm just like really taking this in and wanting more of this out in the world. So thank you for having this event. And
Thank you so much. That means the world. Oh my God. Thank you, everybody. How did we do? Did we do okay? We did good. This is good. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was way more awkward than it actually was.
I know.
We made it. We made
Yeah,
it
we
through.
did it.
Okay.
We made it.
And, if you want to listen to other episodes of where Adam is, and we talk also about like our journey in sexuality and how it has changed because our relationship was so based on sex. And then when we didn't have that like, okay, so what is the thing that's holding us? And so we had to find other things that were holding us besides sex, and then finding sex through a different lens. Mm-hmm. And then now, like being in a space where we feel pretty damn connected in sex, but I'm sure that will change. One of the things that I am sure about is that we're never static. And so we're always evolving and we're always changing. And one of the things that I am is like, I'm up to the task to see how this change and see what happens now, next 10 years.
You and me both. Let's do it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.